Hello again. Let's get back to the game. Wash my hands. I'm good. But yeah, that was definitely had to go. Oh, there is music, I see. My stomach has been like rebelling against me the past few days. You're in a giveaway for Monster Hunter on PC? Is it out on PC? Shade Edge, I caught the stomach bug from Johnny. God, I hope it isn't contagious. I hope it doesn't give it to Meryl. Imagine that. Guess I can look at these. A marker for requesting support supplies from Mother Base. The marker indicates the location where the supplies are to be dropped. To use it, throw it the same way you throw a grenade. Useful in missions where supplies are difficult to procure on site. You also get a chaff grenade. A non-lethal weapon that scatters a cloud of metal strips when detonated, scrambling nearby electronic devices. When surrounded by an unmanned weapon, chaff grenade can turn the tables in an instant. Ooh, good. They can also block the user's own radio signal, so the grenades are best saved for when you need them. Okay. I ran back in here. They're real MVPs. I'm so reluctant to use them, Brad. I really don't like using them. I would prefer not to, you know? So we can we can develop these, but I think we might need the idle GMP. I don't know if I can touch that idle GMP until I'm sure that the plant that they're working on has been made. Oh no, and my tank! Oh. Maybe I should do that tank mission again and abduct another tank? Metal strips. For PC, it runs for 3 or more days. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Big Wahoni. I do hope you win it. You might be able to play it tomorrow. Since you gotta stay up. You have to be up till 6 a.m. That sounds terrible. I can't read that letter. Otherwise it'll upset Huey. Okay. So you don't need to move anybody around. I'm thinking, so I lost my tank in one of the outer ops missions. I'm kind of thinking about going back and doing that same mission where you pick up the tank. Maybe I can get another one. As in can't find them? No, as in I lost it in outer ops. The only thing next that's left, I think, is a story mission. If I was really, really good, I would attempt this again. The pupa battle. If I was super good, I would attempt the pupa battle again. But that was a bitch and a half to do. I'm gonna have to wait till I get way better weapons. Oh, they're deployed in outer ops. Maybe. You admire the speed at which I play through this game. Oh, all the games that I stream? I'm glad, Corios. Some folks, you know, the pace isn't for everybody. Some folks prefer it to be a little, more swift. Oh, so I guess because it's listed as A team? Because it's listed as a team, it's active? That's weird. Not sure that you'd buy it if you don't win it. You're nowhere near the recommended specs. Gotcha. Yeah, the tank seems to be on duty, it seems. Hi, Alex. Good to see you. Enjoy your lurk. Oh, that's fine. No, I don't mind you guys telling me that. Oh, God, we lost one of our best soldiers, man. Oh, we lost one of our best men. Oh, you know what I want to do? We can do a story mission. That's fine. But I want to talk to Huey for a bit. I'm doing well. I might be coming down with a cough or something. Alex. Oh god, that reminds me. Let me write this down. I have so many messages to send and answer tomorrow. God, my brain's on the fritz this week, I'm telling you. But we have done all missions, haven't we? Yeah, all missions complete. Travel to the Cloud Forest. Let's go find this strange love lady after I talk to Huey.
Snake, Peace Walker is the heart of the enemy's project. To prevent its completion, you'll need to either shut down or destroy the artificial intelligence that functions as its brain.
That sounds like a lot of work, Kaz.
That AI is now undergoing final calibrations in Strangelove's lab. It's inside a tropical cloud forest. Slip in and terminate that AI before they ship it out.
I feel like she's gonna be really mad at me if I do that, though. Extra ops for community days? Is that like, extra ops? I don't know what... Are extra ops like... Hold on. The non-story missions? What's up, Secular Strategy? Good to see you. Nah, I like doing them myself. I could do them with other people someday if I really feel inspired to do it, but saving up all the extra missions for our weekly or our monthly community day would mean I would not make a lot of progress or get a lot of extra items without you guys' help. I much prefer doing them myself. I'm really mostly a do-it-yourself kind of person. Yeah, it's monthly. Once a month. We do party games and stuff. Yeah, and some of the side missions are single player only, too. You'd recommend saving any form of multiplayer for much later in the game. Yeah, I don't want to be like the low-level newbie and you guys come in and you, like, carry me. I'm not a big fan of being carried. And you guys would be doing it because you're lovely people and want to help. But I would kind of be like, I wish I could do this thing. But doing bosses would be interesting, like the pupa stuff. Getting, like, parts for our Rexes. Or Zeeks, I guess? Be cool. Okay, first I want to do our mission prep. Might throw a chaff in this. And a supply marker. Okay, I'm gonna be upset with myself. This was my boss loadout. So let's switch this to rations. Take the curry off. Get the analyzer. And the Fulton. That way I can make sure that we can take some folks with us. Same as we talked about if for like Monster Hunters. Yeah, exactly. Isn't every fight in this game a boss fight? Ugh. It's true. Alright, Huey, tell me about this mission. He's so dewy! Why is he the world's sweatiest scientist? I guess it... You know what? That reminds me, Naomi was also sweaty when she was in South America. Holy shit! Oh, boy. Well, get ready for like half hour of this.
Doc,
wait.
I'm starting to sense your
Gotta get my
feelings
notes.
about nukes are a little different from your colleagues.
How do you mean?
Your little chat with Coldman back there.
I told you my father worked on the Manhattan Project, right? You're familiar with it?
The basics, yeah. It was the project that kicked off the nuclear age.
That's right. Some of the finest minds of the 20th century, including multiple Nobel Prize winners, worked on it. They spent over $2 billion, and that's in 1940s money. It culminated in the successful nuclear test at Alamogordo on July 16th, 1945.
And the first use in
Here we go.
combat a few weeks later. Doc,
I can't walk.
what?
My spine isn't shaped like everybody else's. I can't move my lower body. So I've never taken a single step, not since I was born.
What's that got to do with your dad being in the Manhattan Project?
As a result of his research, my father was exposed to
Oh.
high doses of radiation. It can't be a coincidence that my chromosomes are messed up. That's why I didn't want for these nukes to be another sword of Damocles. I wanted to give them a real purpose, to be a deterrent against war.
Doc,
And Coldman, we have to stop him, whatever it takes.
Finishing that note up. Yeah, it's a bug spray. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Huey Emmerich.
August 6th, 1945, Hiroshima. August 9, Nagasaki.
the atom bomb attacks on Japan.
My father
It's
was
like a
married to
Hydra
his work.
bribe.
I don't have a single memory of going places or doing stuff with him on weekends. But even as a kid, I knew on some level that it was for his family. I respected him.
Welcome back,
My mother
Kanaya.
used
Thank
to tell
you
me
for
all
that.
the time, your father is a brilliant scientist. He saved countless American boys from death. You should be proud of him.
Yeah. You could say the war ended because of those bombs.
When I was in the 5th grade, a Japanese student transferred to our class. She showed me photos of Hiroshima after the bomb. I couldn't believe my eyes. A city of over 350,000 people reduced to a scorch mark on the ground by a single atomic bomb. Houses blown off their foundations, burned to ashes. The only things left standing were the skeletons of steel-framed buildings. And it wasn't just the buildings. Blackened corpses on the side of the road. Survivors covered head to toe in severe burns. Within a few months, over 70,000 had died in Nagasaki, twice that in Hiroshima. For years after that, I couldn't talk to my father. Couldn't even stand to look at his face.
I know how you feel, Doc. But your father's your father.
If he hadn't worked on that project, my body wouldn't be like this.
Ooh.
I could be researching something else. I could have lived a normal life.
That's a really interesting tape. That's a really interesting tape. He's talking so much about the carnage at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but then it springs back to this pain, this bitter pain of, because he was exposed to radiation, I'm messed up. It's like it's his fault that I can't have a normal life. I could be doing different things with my work if it wasn't for him. That's really interesting. It's such a sore spot. I mean, understandably so. He's never had... He was born without something that we all... That, maybe not we all, but a lot of us take for granted, and that's knowing what it's like to actually walk. Not just walking, but knowing what it's like to, like, stride and run and kick your legs up and do whatever. I just find it really interesting how much of that is, like, the self that he pulls up there after talking about the charred corpses in the streets in Japan. He didn't confront his dad and say, "You monster, you killed all these people." He's more hurt about how he can't walk. That's really interesting to me. You're making chipotle chicken with an arugula spinach salad and cilantro lime vinaigrette. That sounds delish.
It wasn't so long ago the world
I
stood
could
on the brink
I could
of
see him
nuclear
becoming
war.
really
Just
bitter
over on the other
and
side of the Caribbean.
I
you know
was
doing an
17 at
evil
the time.
like face
I
heel
skipped a few
turn.
grades and was a sophomore at MIT. I remember feeling kind of apathetic about the news that came in every day. It seemed clear to me that as long as they had a grasp of the concept of nuclear deterrence, there was nothing to fear.
Scooching back.
Either that, or they were feigning that fear on purpose.
As a way to secure a bigger defense budget? Huh. I can see that. But if that was their plan, it kind of backfired.
Because it ushered in the era of détente between East and West.
Coldman's really gonna do it this time. Once the nuclear genie is out of the bottle, the yoke of deterrence is going to be meaningless. People will die. Cities will burn. We
My
have
legs
to stop
won't work.
it now before it's too late to turn back.
Are you remembering correctly that he said it was his idea to put legs in a tank? He borrowed the idea, I think, from Alexander Granin from Metal Gear Solid 3. Granin was thinking of making a bipedal tank, and Coldman, when he's at the top of the steps, calls him out like, oh, you stole the idea of bipedal tanks. I think, like, Granin had the idea, and this Huey guy was like, I love this. This is everything that I'm missing. Let's use it. What's up, Nataki? Good to see you. So even though it's, like, it's really silly to have a bipedal thing, maybe this excuses that silliness of developing this bipedal war machine. Because this person who has always lacked that ability to walk, he wants to, like, maybe make his creation fulfill that. He has like an AT-AT, but only an AT, because it's got the 2 legs. Space race and the Cold Arms War race. So this is something that they've talked about. I think they talked about this either in 3 or 1 or something. I do remember them bringing this up quite a few times. Yeah, exactly,
So you've been doing
Fox.
nuclear research your
Maybe
whole
that's why he
life.
pushed that
No,
angle so
not
hard.
really.
It's because of his own personal
At
desire.
first, I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. For me, the Sputnik launch was a good shock, not a bad one. I thought the age when science was used for war was over, and that a glorious age of space exploration was dawning. The year I skipped ahead and got into MIT, Gagarin went into orbit, which made me more excited than ever. Of course, even back then, I knew the space race was just another facet of the Cold War.
Moscow had a leg up on us, and we were desperate to catch
Can you not
up.
use leg
I know.
metaphors, please?
But for me, it was a
Please
happy time.
read your audience,
I joined
Snake.
NASA, got to do the kind of research I loved.
They were really
Our
running
nation's
ahead of
prestige
them
hinged
there,
on our work.
racing off.
They gave us whatever resources we asked
We didn't
for.
have a leg
I
to stand
knew you
on.
could turn a rocket into an ICBM by fitting it with a nuclear warhead, but that didn't bother me so much. It didn't last long, though. The space and nuclear arms races
But
took
he
up
was like, as a
enormous sums
boy,
of
he
money.
saw these
America
nuclear
beat
things,
Russia to the
and it
moon.
bothered him. But
That's where it
he's not
ended.
bothered
Then
by the
came
idea of putting a
detente.
nuke on a
Exactly.
rocket.
NASA's budget was slashed as a result. My father being a nuclear
No
expert
need
and
for
all,
that? Okay.
they put me to work on a more obvious deterrent. Missiles. At NASA, I've
Right,
been
that's right, though.
researching
He
a
wants to.
locomotion
He
system
believes
for
in nuclear
lunar
deterrence. I
exploration.
forgot.
Tires aren't suited to driving around on the moon, you know. And that's how I caught Coldman's eye.
That's right. So he's developing nuclear tech to deter nuclear tech. Keep forgetting about that kind of loophole. And that's how I caught Coldman's eye. Tell me more.
The aim of the Peace Walker project is to achieve robust nuclear deterrence across Central America by deploying a new nuclear weapon system along the Caribbean coast. Peace Walker is also the name of the system itself.
A nuclear weapon named Peace. I can just see the look on Kaz's face. So why exactly does this new system need legs
Here
in the
you go,
first
Fox.
place?
Because it's a walker, an unmanned weapon moving under its own power and capable of launching a deterrent strike from anywhere. That's the whole idea behind Peace Walker.
Yeah, that's one part of it that it's like, I think for the sanctity of the game, you have to suspend your disbelief. They played with that a little bit in Metal Gear Solid 3 with the hover bike thingies that had the searchlights on it, that were apparently a prototype of something that the Russians were actually working on during that time. But I felt like that part was like, okay, I can suspend it for this long. But now it's, it's 10 years later, we're in the 70s, and there's like a supercomputer? It's a little intrusive in this one. Yeah, computers powerful enough to power AIs in the early 70s. The fact that you have this, like, in the pupa, right? The boss that we fought a few days back. In the pupa, you have this, like, server system inside it, and you can, like, remove and take out parts to disrupt certain functions of the thing, and it's like... I think you would need a computer the size of the Coliseum we were fighting the pupa in to have something that could, like, power the pupa. Not remotely, but, like, actually that gargantuan. So it's a little ridiculous. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, disassociate that from the game, because if I latch onto that this early, I feel like I'm going to really not like most of this game, because we're so early in the game. So I have to be like, okay, alright, this is sci-fi. I think part of the problem is they're doing such an amazing job of embedding this game in history. It's so deliberate, the weaving of this game through history is. That's more deliberate, I feel like, than they were doing in Seleno Yarsk in 3, and that already was plenty embedded. With all these tapes that you can revisit, they're really hammering in the point. They're giving you a feel of the time. So then it's like, this is definitely a different universe 1974 than our universe 1974, except almost everything happened the same, plus this stuff. Considering we had nanomachines in Metal Gear Solid 1, which is set in like 2000, this universe is quite adept at making things. Oh, this is true, Alex. Yeah, we had nanomachines in Solid 1. I keep forgetting about banana machines, man. I keep forgetting about it. So yeah. I guess part of my problem is seeing, and also probably the best thing is that I didn't play this in chronological order, but in release order. God, imagine that. Imagine the jump back and forth between tech. That would, not just like graphics, but technology in the game. Because it's clearly advancing as the series advances, but not chronologically. Banana machines? Yeah. It's nanomachines derived from bananas. So you just smell like banana flavored candy. You actually forgot Metal Gear Solid 1 had nanomachines in it, yeah? You thought Snake's codec was battery powered. Yeah, I think it's nanotech? I don't remember. I know Mei Ling tells you at the beginning of 1 how the codec works. And her map system is advanced tech as well. It's funny. It's a game element that you take for granted, having a map on the screen. But that's augmented reality. Intel launched their first CPUs back in 71, 74, so it's not completely impossible. Wasn't fast, but they had some kind of tech. Yeah, gotcha. So flexible sci-fi. Regarding Metal Gear Solid 1's tech versus, say, Metal Gear Solid 4, and how 1 had a full mini-map versus decent half-sensors, you chalk that up to counter-technology. Counter-technology? You mean, like, tech warfare, so, like, Snake can't use his stuff because it's being suppressed or something? In 3, your batteries are powered by your body, either like heat or kinetic energy. Yeah, there was some explanation for why your stuff didn't completely die and why it recharged when you stopped using it. I think Deus Ex might give me motion sickness. Tech designed to counter technology designed to hide your body heat from thermal visors. That's right. Gotcha. Hi Flynn, what's going on? How you doing? Hi Fronted Gamer, good to see you too. Yes, stay. I get really bad motion sickness from first-person shooters. I can't play a lot of games. And I was worried about this franchise giving me motion sickness, but it actually hasn't been so bad. But yeah, there's some games, if anything's in first person, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, or what have you, I just can't play it. And that's not even a shooter. Like RPGs, anything. If it's in first person or VR, can't do it. Dramamine makes me sleepy though, and when I get sleepy and I'm trying to do the show, I get angry. It's like a different thing. It would be different if I could just focus completely on a game and maybe have Dramamine, but I did a few casts where I was taking medication that made me sleepy, and it was the angriest I've ever been. I was so indiscriminately unkind, not to the people in chat, but to characters in a game. I didn't give them, like, any leeway. I didn't give a shit. I was like, fuck this woman. I hate her so much. Get her out of my face. She's the worst character. This is terrible. To be fair, she's a terrible character. But I was very unreceptive. It's truly dramatic. Yeah, Fox. I'm so kind to Raiden. What are you talking about, Fenrir? He's my boy. Are you joking? God, I hope you are. Are you serious? Do you not know that Raiden's one of my favorite characters? Oh, thank God. Jesus. I thought you were misinterpreting my affection for Raiden as hatred, and I was like, how did you do that? How? Okay.
The reason Peace Walker is a mobile nuclear weapon system is to maximize its potential
it sucks,
as a
Stay, but
nuclear
there's so many
deterrent.
great games out there that
How so?
avoid that.
If need be, Peace Walker can stay constantly on the move, so that the adversary
And I'm
can't pinpoint its
developing
position.
technology
That
that
allows it
helps
to
with motion
avoid
sickness.
preemptive
It's called
enemy strikes.
guacamole.
So you're saying it keeps
pretty
the
sure it
retaliation
works.
card in play,
Coldman likes to brag about it in this way.
like a land-based version of an SSBN.
And there's another reason for them to be mobile. Peace Walker also has a self-destruct function.
Okay. My nails are getting too long. I can't even hold this pencil right. Damn. Okay. Well, tell me about the self-destruct function, bud.
Why would Peace Walker need a self-destruct function?
To destroy the
You
tech?
saw it, didn't you, Snake? That sphere on Peace
So
Walker's
people
head?
can't receive it?
Yeah.
That's a hydrogen bomb.
What? You're telling me that thing's a thermonuclear device? Do they have any idea what kind of destruction that thing would cause?
I know, it's crazy. I mean, even overkill has its limits. If it's strategic value they want, they could have gone with something smaller. It's like they want a weapon on par with Russia's Tsar Bomba.
This arms race is running way out of control.
It's an evolutionary dead end. A saber-toothed tiger. You can't load a warhead that big on a missile, of course. And no strategic bomber could carry it. That's where Peace Walker
So
comes
Peace
in.
Walker's
So,
supposed
it
to
waltzes
run
into
in,
enemy
literally run
territory
into the
carrying a
problem?
hydrogen bomb and blows itself up. Christ.
We also know that Christ exists in this universe. What do you know? Someone said that avocados help them, so. Oh, you thought that pen was in game? No, I'm using my pencil to take notes in my lap. I'm writing in my grid paper notepad. Sorry. Sound of a pen across a hard surface is very relaxing. Oh, enjoy the writing ASMR. As I'm furiously trying to scratch down my notes. I hope it's not too loud.
The biggest nuclear warhead ever actually detonated was
Are
the
hydrogen
Soviet
bombs
RDS-220,
sensitive? Like, can I shoot its head and
nicknamed
blow up the whole
Tsar
bomb?
Bomba. It had an estimated yield of 57 megatons, 10 times as much power as all the explosives used throughout World War II. The test took place on October 30, 1961, above Novaya Zemlya. The explosion is believed to have created a fireball over 2 miles in diameter. Can you believe
Holy
that?
shit.
Like a miniature sun. The explosion was seen as far off as Finland, 600 miles away. And some people even reported windows shattering. The shock wave traveled 3 times around the Earth.
3 times?
Whoa.
Peace Walker is armed with a massive hydrogen bomb, even more destructive than Tsar Bomba. It can sneak into enemy territory, lie low, and in the event of an enemy nuclear strike, detonate itself in retaliation. And the locomotion system that lets it do that? My research. Snake, those legs were supposed to make my dream come true. Now they're about to jump the fence of nuclear deterrence. You have to stop them. I'll apply all my energy into developing weapons and equipment to help you do it.
Sounds like a deal.
And before Peace Walker runs up and makes that from Gauntlet Legends before blowing up. Oh god. It's basically it. I'll call those bombers the Tsar Bombas now. The activation of an H-bomb is pretty complicated. If it gets wrecked before it goes off, no atomic explosion. Interesting. So there's a way to disarm it then. That's good. We're almost at the end. Holy shit, never mind. We're not, like, at the end. Guy. It's so smart, Huey. Let's go!
What made you put an AI into Peace Walker?
Well, for one thing, because it can't be manned.
Because it would kill a
Peace
man.
Walker's designed to enter enemy territory.
God forbid
and
you
blow
kill
itself
one
up if
person.
necessary. You can't put a person inside
You're
a
killing
weapon
so
that
many
could
other
blow
people.
at any time, can you? So we equipped it with an AI.
Because you value the
instead.
life of one of your
That's
dudes more than a billion of their
Strangely
dudes.
humane of you.
And besides,
That's ridiculous.
Peace Walker was designed as a bipedal weapon system. You can't imagine how hard it shakes when it walks. It'd turn a man into mush. Plus, when launching a nuclear missile, it has to perform ballistic calculations in real time. See? Because it's always moving.
Hold on. If that's all it does, then a high-performance computer ought to do the job. It doesn't need intelligence.
That's a very good point, Snake. Which brings me to the real reason.
Because it needs to know when to
Peace
destruct.
Walker needs AI to make decisions regarding nuclear
Yeah,
retaliation.
exactly.
It's what ensures perfectly mutual assured destruction.
I've heard all this before. You want a war between machines?
We never actually launched the first nuke, of course. It's strictly a counterattack system. Only a politician could make such an illogical decision as starting a nuclear war. Conversely,
Sorry.
if
Whoops.
an adversary
My
launches
paper's
a
rubbing
nuke
against
at
the
us,
mic arm.
the AI will not
Or the mic
fail to
cord.
retaliate. Therefore, the adversary can't launch. The AI guarantees it.
Even so, launching
Well-
nukes without authorization?
Boomer captains have the authority to launch if land communications are cut off. It's the same principle.
Not even the captain of a boomer can make that decision alone. The way I heard it, that's the only situation where insubordination is allowed.
Only because humans are imperfect. That's Coldman's line of thinking.
You're saying that machines don't make mistakes?
Oh, I see Snake.
That's a
Interesting.
myth. Worse than that, it's blind faith.
We wouldn't put our faith, our fate, into the hands of any ordinary machine. That's what the AI is for. The decision to launch a retaliatory strike requires high-level judgment.
That's
You have to
assuming a
take into
computer
account
can
not
have
only the
like
state of the
better
war,
judgment than a
but the
human,
entire
you know?
world. And sometimes you need to make a guess based on incomplete information.
Huh. You think an AI can do all that?
Yeah, at least Dr. Strangelove does.
That's why I think that tape that we heard is AI training. It's gotta be. It's gotta be AI training. There's it sounds like the boss is talking to someone else, like a British woman or something like that. I think it's training the AI to decide what situations are okay for nuclear launch, something like that. Because there's so many weird hypotheticals, like you have to fix the roof and mow the lawn, but if you get on top of the roof, you can't get down again. So what do you do? And then I think the boss voice says, like, oh, I would get up on the roof and fix the roof. And then the British lady voice is like, but then if you do that, you'll never be able to finish the mission of mowing the grass, and it's like, I will finish the mission given to me of fixing the roof or whatever, something like that. There was another one, like, there was a snake in a bush, and it started, like, fritzing out. A nuclear lunch. Sorry, Yunusk. Or Yunuzemrakara. Only English, man. Yeah, exactly. In AIs, it's not like you can make a computer that is not in any way influenced by humans. Like, the development of the computer is you funnel in the values that you have and that you value. Anyway, fighting the Peace Walker. Tell me how I'm gonna beat this thing, Huey.
Peace Walker is fitted with several close-range weapons. We'd also planned for it to be able to enter enemy territory and self-detonate.
Wonderful. What exactly are we dealing with here?
So mad. He's so mad.
The flamethrowers, for one thing.
Oh,
one in the front and one in the rear.
Flamethrowers, great.
S-mines. They're like cluster bombs. It scatters them from its leg hatches.
Jesus Christ.
If you see those open, you better clear out quickly. And finally, the rockets. These can travel quite a distance, so stay sharp.
Great.
On the other hand, it can't fire them from too close. But then again, there are those flamethrowers. It can also use its legs as weapons against any infantry on the ground.
Ouch.
But remember,
Ouch.
Peace Walker technically isn't complete. With just the reptile pod, it can only perform relatively simple maneuvers. They've got certain quirks, too.
Mm-hmm.
What's more, look carefully, and you should be able to predict which attack is coming next.
Okay. Yeah, that ouch, I think, was supposed to be by Snake, but it didn't sound like him. It was just like, ouch. Like, somebody's like, hey, we didn't get David Hayter to say ouch, so can you, like, do your best Snake impression and say ouch? Hi, Andy. How are you? How you doing? Thank you for the 15 months in a row. How's your day? I got a squad of mullet. Oh, it's not Otacon, my friend. This is Huey, his dad. Not to be silly about that, but I'm going to be incredibly silly about that. I'm doing good, Andy. Just got back from the mountains. Yeah? Was that fun? Dave couldn't... Oh, yeah, he couldn't pull off the gruff of that line. He couldn't go, ouch, you know? Yeah, it's close enough to Otacon. It's Otadad, so... Blow the hatch and climb into the AI pod. What's up, Neolita? I'm so glad we're not doing that right now.
Okay, but why does Peace Walker need to walk on two legs? I think treads would
Enjoy
be good
your
enough.
shower, Andy.
You'd be wrong.
Gotta tell us
As
more
you know,
about your mountain
the terrain
trip.
in Central America is
But yeah,
rugged
make sure you
and
don't have ticks on you.
complex, especially along the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica. You've got jungles, swamps, mountains, and the only way to get across all that terrain, no matter how rugged, is on legs.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be tough to cross a swamp, even on legs?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, that's for sure. The reason we picked Costa Rica as a proving ground is because we can test it on every type of terrain.
Alright. That explains why Costa Rica. I wanted to make a wartime version of the leg lamp that the Dad in Christmas Story had. Big old leggy. If only it had sexy lady legs. That's a missed opportunity, Kojima. You could have had sexy lady legs. You're burpy today? I'm sorry to hear that. Too much soda pop, maybe?
This Peace Walker project the CIA's talking about. You believed in it, huh?
Yeah, I believed.
God,
Actually,
man. For a bunch
maybe
of
I just wanted
smarties,
to-
the Emmerichs sure
What do you
do get
mean?
Here's how
twisted
Coleman explained it.
and manipulated a lot.
Peace Walker's a weapon for peace. One to ensure true nuclear deterrence.
Sorry.
It'd be the anchor to bring
Thank you for that.
stability to Central America. He told me, the nuclear weapon system you've built will never be used.
The non-killy,
It will
not
forever
death
stand
machine
vigil
is
as
a
an icon of
not-killing,
peace.
no-death
To achieve
machine.
that, he needed my bipedal locomotion technology. To be honest, I was flattered.
Flattered.
Wouldn't you be? My colleagues in the scientific community have never taken me seriously.
Oh, sorry about
They
that
told
cough,
me
Fox.
bipedal locomotion was a pipe dream, that it'd never amount to anything. It was the first time anybody recognized my work.
I like that he keeps himself
How could I not
clean-shaven,
be
too.
happy?
I do wish that
And
we had
besides,
seen
it
maybe,
was my
like,
chance to surpass my father.
really
create nukes for
terrible
peace.
beard
Or
Huey.
so I thought anyway.
But Coldman's really going
Maybe I'll
through
get
with
skins and I can
Yeah.
change it.
Makes perfect sense, really.
Shit, what if I have new other
No one would
pictures
give
or
the
something?
project any notice unless they could prove that an
Wouldn't that be
unmanned
dope?
system is capable of
Like,
launching a nuke.
cycle through different pictures? Oh shit, like in Metal Gear Solid 3. That would be amazing! I do hope you get it checked out if it doesn't go away, Fox. I only had one soda. Oh, maybe it's the ramen? Did you inhale a lot of, like, air as you were eating ramen or something? The reason for launching a real nuke? Is it gonna be, like, because of nuclear deterrence? I wonder how many times they're gonna tell me the same thing again.
Why is Coldman gonna launch a nuke? If all he wants to do is prove the AI retaliation system works, he doesn't need to put a live warhead on it.
I agree. He could demonstrate the system by launching the missile alone, without a warhead. I asked him
Yeah.
the same thing at first. He said there was no point in using a dummy missile. That it'd take an actual nuclear launch to deter potential enemies.
Where the fuck are they gonna
Launching
hit?
the real deal gives him a leg up in negotiations with Langley. That's what he's really after.
Well, not even like 5 o'clock Shadow. Because he's kind of got the Shadow going. I want to see, like, Patchy can't grow a beard, and that's why I and my son don't grow beards in this game. Autodad. I want to see, like, it's, like, missing some chunks, and it's really thin and scraggly and, like, not good looking. But, like, he's a scientist. He's probably spent, like, days and days and days inside, and what does he care about what he looks like? He's working on, you know, science shit. Or maybe he's, like, super vain. Who knows? Maybe he really does care a lot about how he looks. If it's purely a deterrent system, wouldn't the AI just not fire ever? Yeah. There's some loopholes, I'm sure. Hi, Leonardo.
I based the bipedal locomotion technology used in Peace Walker on Soviet research. Actually, I'll be honest with you.
Tell me about
I
Grandin.
stole most of the basic ideas behind it.
Now, Grandin
Soviet.
said he sent it to a
Bipedal.
friend.
You mean Granin?
You know him?
Yeah. I met him at his lab in Russia. He helped me out a little bit.
You met him? What were you?
He was head of the Granin Design Bureau, creator of countless Soviet weapons.
I'd hit a wall in my research at the time. Granin's ideas solved nearly all my problems.
There's nothing unusual about using somebody else's work to further your own research, is there?
As long as you
I thought he
cited-
sent it to him
yeah,
directly.
But I wasn't in a position to do that. His
Maybe it got
research was
intercepted,
classified
yes.
at the highest level. Soviet research, no less.
So, you used it without telling anybody.
I wanted to show up my colleagues for once.
Okay.
The
So he
ones
didn't
who
tell
never
people
took
because
me seriously. But you reap what you sow. Coldman seized on that vulnerability. Told me if I quit the project, he'd expose my larceny.
He had you by the balls, Doc.
can we not grab people's balls in this game, please? Can we not pee or grab people's balls in this game? Can we be done with that? Why has that got to be the thing? Did we have ball grabbing in 4? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. So much happened to that game. I know ball grabbing was in 2 and 3. Anybody know if there was ball grabbing in 4? Yeah, I don't have my face cam on today. I'm kind of relaxing today, Corrupt. My stomach's in a weird place. I spent all day working, so I kind of want to just kick back, not have the lights in my eyes. Most of it is, I didn't want to go through the 45 minutes it takes for me to put my makeup on. And put a nice looking shirt on. 'Cause I'm lazy.
How'd you get your hands on Granin's research?
That was also Coldman. He used his agency contacts to get a hold of it.
Giving you stolen information, then using it to blackmail you. Damn.
So Coldman,
I knew it
wait,
was Granin's work the minute
Coldman
I saw
gave it to him?
See, I'd been corresponding with him for a while.
Corresponding.
Letters. Between scientists doing the same kind of research.
They met
He
at
always
some
complained
point.
that nobody understood his ideas on
They met,
bipedal
though.
locomotion.
Ah, so you're the
There you go, they got
American
this
friend
then.
he was talking about.
Because there's a picture of
Obviously, he
him
didn't write a
in,
word
in
about the
Grannon's
technology in his
office.
letters, except for one time. If by chance anything should happen to me, I entrust my research to you. Better that than handing it over to these ignorant so-called scientists.
Sounds
Okay.
like him, all right.
Then one day, his papers actually came. It wasn't hard for me to imagine what had happened to him. I felt it was my duty
Oh, he got,
to
like,
carry
hella
on his
killed
work
by
after
Logan.
him. And also,
What?
I thought maybe combining his technology with mine could be a way to bring East and West together, like the docking of Apollo and Soyuz.
Y'all
It'll
gonna
never
dock?
make the history books. And it's still not a reason to plagiarize.
You're right.
Shitting
You're
on
absolutely
plagiarism.
right.
Fuck yeah.
I never had the courage to tell the truth. That's all. I always looked for excuses to cover it up.
Until now.
Huh?
You told me everything. You're no longer a coward.
Oh, make him feel better. There is ball grabbing in 4. What happened when, Loop? I don't remember that. You feel like a P scene would drive the PSP to its limits? You think so? I mean, who better than Kojima to push a console to its limits? Yeah, what kind of docking, right? Are we close to the end? Oh god, thank god.
Metal Gear.
Huh? What about it?
You mumbled that when I first explained about Peace Walker. I'm curious what it meant.
Exactly what it says. Metal Gear. Grannon coined the term.
Grannon did?
He thought of his technology as the metal gear that meshes infantry with artillery.
I forgot that they
I
had
like
to,
the
like,
sound of that. Metal Gear. It's
you
got a nice ring to it.
cornballs.
Better than an outright lie like Peace Walker, anyway.
Cornballs. They just want to say Metal Gear enough because they're like, oh, we've been doing this for like a decade now. 4D Space Whale, welcome back. What's going on? So you can use the ball grabbing as a method instead of knocking out held up guard soldiers. I'm glad I didn't do that in 4. I'm real glad that didn't happen in 4 to me. There's a lot of things I'm glad I didn't see in 4.
Those papers the CIA gave you, was there any data on the Shagohod in there?
Shagohod?
A nuclear tank that launches
Shagohod?
IRBMs. It competed against Grannin's system for approval.
Oh, the thing with the rockets. Designed
The
by a
thing-
guy named Sokolov,
The
right?
thing with the rockets.
What's so funny?
No, I was just remembering some of the commentary Grannon added to the Shagohod papers. You should have seen the way he badmouthed it. It was too conservative, too ugly.
I can imagine.
He was so angry when he wrote that, he smeared up the ink. And you know how shoddy the paper is over there to begin with.
I'll bet. That's Grannin, all right.
Probably spilled a lot of
Imagine accelerating
booze
the
on it,
launcher
too.
itself to 300 miles an hour to extend the range
Thank
of
you,
an IRBM.
KB Garcia. Thanks
As
for popping
stupid as
in.
it sounds, it's a hell of a concept. Who but the Soviets would think of using a tank as the first stage of a rocket? I actually took a cue from the Shagohod when I developed the Pupa.
I know,
That
I can
hovercraft
tell.
thing? You stole that one, too.
Give me a little credit. I only borrowed the concept. The technology is original. As it turned out, hover technology wasn't enough to handle all the terrain in Central America.
So it's really
It
good in
relied too
paved
much
areas.
on brute force.
But the Shagohod was a major threat. That thing could corner like you wouldn't believe. Built pretty tough, too.
You sure know a lot about it.
It almost did me in. I couldn't forget it if I tried.
Did
No.
you in? So you were
Did
the
you
one
in?
who took it down. Wow. You really are amazing.
I didn't do
Please.
it alone.
No, seriously, thank you. We might not be here today if they'd begun mass-producing that thing. Then again, they're hard at work now miniaturizing nuclear warheads. Pretty soon they won't even need an accelerated launcher like the Shagohod.
They'll need some kind
Great.
of rail
That
gun
means
or
they're
something that my
much
son will
closer to
develop
being able
later.
to launch from anywhere in the world.
Nice. I kind of like that tape. Aside, I mean, obviously I would because Otta Dad is complimenting Snake Dad, and I'm like, nice. Dad's respecting dads. How nice. But yeah, I do like the nods back to 3.
Chico called Peace Walker the Basilisco.
Basilisco?
Can you say El Basilisco if you
Oh,
just say Basilisco?
right, Spanish. That's funny. I once used the code name Basilisk for the Peace Walker
Hi,
platform
Dipso,
myself.
what's up?
What for?
The class of lizards called basilisks can walk atop any type of terrain. In a pinch, they can even stand up on 2 legs and run
The
across
Jesus
water.
lizard. I love them.
Perfect name for a system that can walk anywhere in Central America, right? Plus, there are the legends.
What legends?
The basilisks of legend were highly venomous creatures. There's a story told by the ancient Romans. A knight slew a basilisk
Which they probably
by
stole from the
piercing it with
Greeks.
his spear. The creature's poison seeped up the spear and killed both horse and rider.
Wow.
Remind you of anything, Snake?
Nuclear deterrence.
Bingo. Kill it, and you die along with it. Your hands are bound. I wanted Peace Walker to be like that.
That's cool.
You should know that people aren't that rational. Sometimes
They'll
people do
fucking
things
stab
that
a
don't
lizard
make
even if they
sense,
know it's gonna poison them.
even when they know they're going to die. Or maybe it's because of that.
Maybe you're right. But that's exactly what I don't understand.
I don't understand irrational feelings. Yeah, when Otacon commented on Snake taking out the tanks, you're the shit. That's my favorite calling for. God, if only... I can't talk about 4, guys. I can't. We can't start this. Okay? If only 4 just focused more on Otacon and Snake and Sunny and the dynamic between them, it would just be so much better. Anyway.
So this Dr.
Anyway.
Strangelove was at NASA,
Yeah. Well, actually, Strangelove left for DARPA not long after I joined.
and then the
Hold
two
me
of you
back.
ended up back together doing research in Costa Rica.
Not exactly together. We coordinated on a few things, but the research projects themselves were separate from each other. We had it worked out so that Dr. Strangelove handled the mammal pod.
Oh, the
Peace
mammal
Walker's
pod.
cerebrum, while I did the rest.
That letter. Something
Aha!
to do with your research.
Huh? No, it's a... yeah, it's a report. Research findings.
Research findings. Anything in there we could use against Peace Walker?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just don't read it, okay? Promise me you won't?
That's totally confirming what I suspected. Strangelove works on the cerebrum. The rational decision-making bit. So that tape has got to be Strangelove talking to an AI, programming it. That's gotta be it. Oh my god, Godfather, that was such a weird part. Gosh. There's so many gratuitous throwbacks in that game. You're sitting here with pants on and a pullover. Woo! Nice, Lord Ass Man. It's nice and cool. Hell yeah. How didn't he think that someone with Strangelove in the name wouldn't turn into nuclear shenanigans, right? When did that movie come out? It's probably a code name for her. Thank you for the one rational bit making, Fox. Well, we're all done that. How great is that? Oh god, there's so many more tapes. So that came out in the 50s or 60s. Okay, this is the 70s, so it's plenty enough time for that to become like a reference or a code name for her. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a Blu-ray disc. God. That's right. With the disc switching is right up there on hokiness levels with Psycho Mantis from Metal Gear Solid 1. That's subtext. Yeesh. Okay. Google says that Strangelove came out in 64. I think that makes sense because they actually talk about that in Metal Gear Solid 3 Fenrir, which takes place in 64. Paramedic is a big movie buff, and she talks to you about all the movies she likes watching. And this is 10 years later. Anyway, kid, tell me about tropical cloud forests, I guess.
Chico, you know much about cloud forests?
Not that much. All I know is there's a world of difference between a rainy rainforest and a foggy cloud forest. But they have some things in common. Like, for instance, you gotta watch out for poison dart frogs. Both rain and cloud forests have high humidity, so they're perfect environments for frogs and other amphibians. I mean, it's not like just touching a strawberry poison dart frog or a dying dart frog is going to kill you, but don't eat them, no matter how hungry you get.
I can get all the rations I need from Mother Base. No jungle food for me this time.
Seriously? You're not disappointed you don't get to eat wild animals?
Why?
What do you think I am?
Just kidding.
What?
In
How
Colombia, though,
does
there's
he?
a frog,
How would he
golden
know?
dart frog that's lethal to the touch.
How do you know all this?
Come on. Don't you think poisonous animals are cool?
Not if you get poisoned by
This kid
one.
probably wasn't
Well,
even born
obviously.
when I was in
One more
Selena
thing.
Yarsk.
When you get to the forest, be on the lookout for Bigfoot.
So I'm looking out for like the
think
Loch
I'll
Ness
be
Monster
okay
and
there.
Bigfoot. Although Loch Ness Monster was supposed to be in the previous mission, now that I think of it. Wonder if there was like some kind of collectible there or something. Now you pictured two hetero dads riding a nuke. Nice. Yeah, that doesn't make... I get why he's like, don't eat it. And he's not saying because you ate a bunch of stuff on your mission. But it's like, you do not know me, kid. Why do I look like the kind of guy that would just eat whatever's laying on the ground, crawling on the ground? Why you think I'm that kind of crazy man? Wonder if Snake is just like munching on a rat right now while he's talking to the kid. Like, I would never do that. He just puts the rat behind his back. Maybe bribe? Possibly. Maybe indirectly said it, you know. What's up, Shazio? How are you doing today? Let's talk about Bigfoot. Because I got nothing better to do.
Bigfoot is an ape man that lives in the Rocky Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
In the local Indian language, he's known as Sasquatch.
That's in the Rocky
And
Mountains, oh
get
boy.
this, he's over 3 vara. Can you believe that?
So he's kind of like a gorilla.
Completely different. Even the biggest gorillas only get to about 2 vara, and they walk on their knuckles. Bigfoot's
I like his
big,
passion.
and he walks on 2 feet, like people.
So he's more man than ape.
Probably. His ancestors must have split off from humans at some point. Like before they
Fascinating.
started using tools
Good to
and
hear,
stuff.
Shazio.
Yeah, but aren't the Rockies kind of far away from here?
Yeah, not that far. According to Darwin, humans came all the way over here from Africa.
Oh, during Pangea?
Plus, there have been sightings in Venezuela of an ape-man
Or
called
ice bridges?
Mono Grande. Costa Rica has tons of plant and animal
Roll
species,
the Mars, boy.
So I'd expect there to be at least one kind of ape-man.
At least.
Let's hear about Mono Grande. Yeah, that is a boy. You can't tell by his voice. There are 2 units of measurement that you don't know in this conversation. One is Vara. What's the other one? Hold on. I gotta take my hoodie off. It's getting toasty in here. The frozen Bering Strait. Gotcha. Okay. I get you, Lord Ass Man. They look androgynous? Maybe? Sure, to you, I guess. Not really, because I know this is a boy, I'm not really looking for any kind of feminine signifiers.
Gotta admit, I've never heard of Mono Grande.
Oh, feet,
Yeah, he's not
gotcha.
as famous as Bigfoot. He's
3
similar,
feet
but
is
he
a
lives
meter.
in Venezuela. He's
About.
not that big, less than 2 vara, but he's way more ferocious than Bigfoot. Huh. I wonder just how mean he is. Like when he catches his prey, does he punch it to death?
That's the law of the wild. You catch your prey,
You catch your prey, you
you
punch
kill
them
it.
to death.
and you eat it.
Yeah. But punching is way more ferocious than biting.
Well, maybe it seems that way because that's what humans do. You really love UMAs, don't you, Chico?
Do you know what I think? I think UMAs should be dangerous.
I think they should
Otherwise,
fight each
where's the fun
other
in
and we
hunting
should
them?
tape them and watch them fight on TV. It would be great. Okay, kid. Okay. So we want to... Okay, tell me about this, because this is going to be actually helpful information.
From here on in, you'll be in a cloud forest. The
Hey,
ground
welcome
is
back,
covered
Andy.
in vegetation.
No
You'll have
ticks?
plenty of hiding places, but so will the enemy.
I'll keep an eye out for scouts.
That would be great, Lord
Trying to
Asman.
force your way through would be suicide. Know the enemy's location before making any moves. Too bad you don't have some sort of radar.
I could try night vision.
Once you know where an enemy is, decide how you want to handle him. You could get into his blind spots.
Or drop it from a distance before he even has a clue
Get that
someone's
hush puppy
around.
out, yeah.
An eye for an eye, alright?
Okay, go. Thank God she's got very little. Okay, tell me about scouts.
We've also confirmed that some of the enemy specialize
Thanks,
in
Peter.
ambushes.
Hi, Morph. Good
Commander's
to see
crew
you.
calls them scouts. They'll blend themselves in with the terrain and the vegetation. Then, when they see you, they'll swoop in. They fight pretty much like commandos, and will use clearing techniques to flush you out.
Shit, I don't
In
like
addition to wielding normal weapons, the scouts also carry wires.
that. Huh?
Sounds like these guys know
Oh
their
shit, like they'll choke me
CQC.
out?
Could be. We've been getting reports of CQC attacks being blocked by wires.
Oh, fuck.
alert.
Shit, dude, they can parry my CQC? I'm ruined. It's gonna be the end of me. So, Andy, what'd you see up in the mountains, man? And Morphinius, how's your day been? Now we gotta listen to the kid talk. This one's really important, though, apparently.
The cloud forests cover the central mountainous region of the country. They are perpetually shrouded in fog. You get wet just standing there. It is as if the
Oh, that's
entire
cool, Andy.
forest is inside a cloud.
Must
That's
make
interesting,
for poor
banana slugs.
visibility.
It does. But beauty, too.
Holding
it is like
mutes,
being
nice.
lost in some mystical green labyrinth.
I'd rather not get lost, if that's okay.
The forests are also home to lots of rare animals, especially bright-colored frogs. They like the humidity.
So, she's kind of like... I'm trying to, like, suss out what this... Like, this character knows a lot about this area. But she's also, like, our political, like, socio-political major, too, at age 16. It's stolen from a movie. It's featuring a Mexican luchador that travels the country. With a trailer filled with zombies, he wrestles in show matches. What's that movie called, Rasmus? Sounds crazy. Mosquito bites suck, Andy. You didn't have any repellents or anything? It's been an hour, 40 minutes. I did take a break, like, at the start of the show, though. It's also 3 a.m. here. So, oh, yeah, 9 p.m. So it's time for me to take my last dose of medication, at least. Food break? I guess I could eat. This is going to be one of those situations where I'm like, I don't feel like I should eat, but I'll take a break for you guys. And then, oh, you know what? We can listen to these tapes. I should have been listening to these tapes while I ate my dinner. Damn it. I bet there's more tapes we can listen to, though. How about I do that? I'll bring up my dinner, we'll listen to some tapes, I'll take my meds, then we'll actually do the mission.